intermittent fasting, carb cycling, all these things, what do they mean? Well, okay. Intermittent fasting, pretty much you fast for a portion of every day. You have a window where you're eating in, and that's where you get all your calories. Now, the theory is that you can burn more fat throughout the day when you fast, and you may even maintain more muscle mass. Now, carb cycling is where you change and manipulate the amount of carbohydrates you have throughout the week. So maybe one day you'll have your normal amount, maybe one day you'll have like 3/4, one day will be half, 2 days will be like 100 grams or like 50 grams, and then you'll come back up and you kind of cycle, and you'll go in between having a lot of carbs and not a lot of carbs. What are these things? When we break it down to the basics, they are just tools for us to get into a caloric deficit. Remember, calories are king. So if calories are king, a caloric deficit is always going to lose fat and weight in general, and a caloric surplus is always going to gain fat, muscle, and weight in general. So if we employ these techniques, are we seeing different outcomes? Well, maybe a little bit, but nothing crazy. Now, why do I like these techniques? Because they kind of make it fun, you know? If you have a challenge of fasting for a certain portion of the day, but you know that once you get to that window where you're allowed to eat, that you can eat as much as you want in that window, or at least to however many calories you're supposed to have in the day, and eating just in a small window allows you to feel more satisfied with those meals. Eat bigger meals, maybe eat something that you really want to eat, even if it's not the most healthy, but you can still maintain that because you haven't eaten in the other 16 hours surrounding this 8-hour window. Then awesome. If that works for you, that works for you. Now, carb cycling makes it interesting. I could probably not eat as many carbs for a day or two. And then I might get a little bit cranky, you know, might be craving some things. I might be interested in having a little bit of carb. Oh, but my carbs come back. I get to eat some more carbs again. Oh, this is fun. This is interesting. My diet is never the same because I am manipulating factors within my diet. In reality, coming back to it, they are just tools to get into a caloric deficit. So if they help you get into a caloric deficit and maintain the fun aspect of your diet, make it interesting, if they help you stay in a deficit without feeling like you're restricted, because feeling restricted is the worst feeling. It just sucks. It just sucks being restricted. But if you can go through and utilize one of these tools to make you feel good about being in a deficit, if your goal is to lose fat, then fantastic. Is it going to provide significantly better outcomes? We're still unsure in the literature. From me, personal thoughts and where I think the field will go, well, I don't think so. If you are overweight or obese and you have poor lipid panels, you have dyslipidemia, maybe you have high triglycerides or high cholesterol, or if your blood sugar is high, some of these tactics may actually be more beneficial for you. But for a normal population, it's hard to say. There's not much literature out there to support that it's any better than a normal caloric restriction over time. Now, what's most beneficial is what you can follow and what you stick to. So if you can stick to intermittent fasting or to carb cycling better, if you just feel like that makes your workouts easier, that rather than being in a caloric restriction day after day, then go for it. Whatever works for you is always the best diet. Now, employing these techniques can definitely help you. Remember, you will have to track your calories using these techniques. You have to be very precise over a long period of time. So if you are okay with tracking, then employ one of these. Or if you've figured out a way to do it where you don't have to track everything, maybe you just, in carb cycling, maybe you just track your carbs. Or in intermittent fasting, you don't track, but you know that you're in a deficit for the day because you're experienced, then go for it. If you guys have any questions about this, go ahead, put them down below in the comments. Go follow me on Instagram at Trevor Lomax. subscribe down below, hit the little button, and then hit the little bell so you get the notifications of my next video so you don't miss one. It really helps me out and it'll help you out, I promise. If you have any content you want to see, also put that in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time.